All right, everybody, welcome to the Stay True team call. It is June 9th. Wow, already June 9th. 1 year ago today, we were driving across the country, probably somewhere in Minnesota or somewhere right now. But anyway, we were reminiscing about that as a family, and we were all kind of like, why didn't we go anywhere this year? And we were all pointing the finger at each other, blaming it on each other. But
it's really
the reason it's their fault we didn't go anywhere this summer. So anyway, I wanted to get the call rolling here tonight. We've got a bunch of stuff, good stuff for you guys tonight. Dan's going to be talking to us about his Bitmoji. His boot camp, not a boot camp, fit club. Yes, he runs a boot camp by profession, does a fit club for the Beachbody. So anyway, so I wanted to go over some recognition here. Number one, I wanted to start off by rewinding a little bit here back into May and taking a look at our leadership ladder for Team Stay True. So those that qualified for the leadership ladder in May, the team leader, that was myself. I qualified for the team leader. And if you can bring those up on your computer screen on the online office, that way maybe people don't know what they are. But basically with the team leader, what that means is you have to be a diamond coach. You have to have 4 personally sponsored coaches on your team. Personally sponsored coaches get at least 1 Success Club point. You have to have, I believe, you have to have made $1,500 for the month in cycle bonuses. And let's see. And I had to hit SC5, and your weak leg team volume had to be 5,000 points. So all that jumbled together there is what it means to qualify or become a team leader for any given month. We had 2 team builders on our team. We had Beth and Gretchen. They were our team builders from May. So in order to qualify to be a team builder, you had to have $250 made in the month of May. You had to have Success Club 5. You had to be at least an Emerald coach. You had to have at least 2 of your personally sponsored coaches have 1 Success Club point or more. And your weak leg volume had to be 200. So I know both of those, both Gretchen and Beth, crushed that probably in every category except what the personally sponsored coaches. That's probably with 2 points. That's probably what prevented both of them from getting to the team leader rank. So that's always a good thing, a way to look at things and look at where you need to grow your team. We also had 3 business starters from May. We had Jessica Mag, Courtney Miller, and Moppy Byler. Congrats, you guys. Business starter rank on the team or the leadership ladder means you had a minimum of $100 in commissions paid to you in the month. You had Success Club 5, and you were a coach, at least a coach. And I know all 3 of you guys are much more than that and ranked more than that. But in that category, it probably came down to either personally sponsored coaches or your weak leg volume, but not even, because a weak leg volume 200. I'm sure you guys have had that. So anyway, so congrats to everyone for getting the leadership ladder. You're going to continue to see Beachbody grow that recognition and kind of turn focus onto that. Our Stay True volume leaders from last week. I'm going to run through this list, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, Dan. So giving recognition to our Stay True volume earners or point leaders. Leading the way was Dan Bahry himself with 770 points, followed closely behind by Beth Akins with 645, and Andrea Evanich had 338 points, Moppy Byler 265 points, Jennifer Novak 256 points, Glenn Akins 212 points, William Bronlich 195 points, Gretchen Namoff 184 points, Todd Kreitz 180 points, Mandy Janke 180 points, Elisa Ketterman 180 points, Lori Berger 160 points, Jennifer Parker 155 points, Jessica Mag 140 points, Kristen Lopez 135 points, Rachel Wacker 135 points, Norma Miller, 125 points. Tina Sparks, 120 points. Christina Schneider, 120 points. Tracy Stenhouse, 105 points. And Lindsay Steeprock with 105 points.
Awesome.
So congrats, you guys. I love reading that list. And I love that it keeps getting longer and longer, and people are getting above 100 points a week, for the week. So, so right now, Dan, I'm going to unmute you so you can go ahead and get started on your presentation about fit clubs and tell us a little bit about what you do and how you came to. And I know you work together as a team on that. So go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you very much. For those of you who don't know, I am Dan Bahry. I've been a coach for about 4.5 years. Love Beachbody, love being a Beachbody coach, and love what it's done for not only myself, but my family. And it's also a big part of my story because I left a construction job and became a personal trainer, and I needed something to help supplement my income. And Beachbody came along at just the right time. Because it was something that truly helps me do what I enjoy doing, and that is training and working with people and being face-to-face. Without Beachbody, it'd be a lot harder to do what I do. And so it allows me a lot of flexibility, and I enjoy that. And I'm very thankful for it. So it's good to be on the call tonight, and Glenn asked me to talk about fit clubs, and I'm really going to talk for about 15 minutes, and then I will open it up for some questions, but I want to keep it somewhat short. I even wrote myself out a script because as you get to know me, I have a hard time staying focused. So I'm going to be focused on the call tonight. We're going to get through this, and I'm going to share what I think can be valuable to you as far as Fit Club goes. And if you're thinking about it, it's a great opportunity, and I'll tell you if you might be a good fit for it. So as you go through this, if something sparks you and you think to yourself, you know what, maybe I could do a Fit Club. It's a great way to build relationships and get face-to-face with people and expand your reach if you're looking for something new beyond social media or just working with your family and friends. It's an opportunity that it can provide for you to expand that market. So let me start by saying that this wasn't our first attempt at a Fit Club, probably won't be our last, and by no means have we done it perfect. Just like in life, we take action, we learn, we grow, and we do it again. So what am I going to be sharing tonight? I'll be sharing 6 questions you need to ask yourself before you start a Fit Club, a little bit about 413 Fit Club and how it came about, the elements that I believe that need to be present to run a successful Fit Club. And last but not least, I'll share the links to the Beachbody resources to help you find more info on Fit Clubs, because there is a whole section in your back office that can help you run a Fit Club and give you all the details and even scripts that you can use when you're at Fit Club. I don't necessarily follow all those, but they're great to have as reminders. And as far as taking notes tonight, definitely take notes if you feel moved to. But I am going to share a link to this, everything that I say tonight. I've already got it typed out, written out in Evernote. I'm going to share that link probably in the call page. And, you know, Glenn, when you upload it to YouTube, if you want to share the link there too, you feel free to do that. So before you start a Fit Club, you need to ask yourself 6 questions. Those questions are, am I energized by being around other people or drained by them? Number 2, do I enjoy building relationships with people beyond the initial meeting? Number 3, do I have somewhere, a facility, a park, physical location, etc., to run this Fit Club, as well as the proper equipment? Number 4, will there be cost involved on my end? Number 5, why am I running this Fit Club, which is a common theme throughout Beachbody? We'll get to that in a second. Number 6, is it worth my time, cost, and effort? So backtracking. Number 1, am I energized or drained? You know, this is key because you can only fake it. You can only fake enthusiasm for so long before you get burned out. Sure, not everyone can be up all the time, but people will notice if you're consistently not present during Fit Club. I personally am energized by being around other people. The more, the merrier. I love being face-to-face with other people and reading body language because that truly helps me get to know them and gets a feel for where that person is in their fitness journey, in their life, or even in this purchasing process that we go through as we talk to people. Number 2, do I enjoy building relationships with people beyond the initial meeting? I hope everyone would answer yes here for this question, but it's not always an easy process because this is truly where the success of Fit Club will happen. People need to know that you care about them, and that starts with a relationship with them and knowing what's going on in their lives. Number 3, do I have somewhere to run Fit Club? May seem obvious, but you need to know exactly where you're planning on running your Fit Club, because it will make a difference in what you'll need for it. It can be run out of your home, in which case you probably won't need much. And some people say Fit Club and home. Yeah, I mean, you don't need a lot of space. Fit Club could be you and one other person. It could be you and 10 other people. But if you can fit in a room, in your garage, I know that there was a time where we actually ran workouts in my garage with me and 4 other people. That could be considered Fit Club. So as I go through this and we talk about the Fit Club that we're running, I don't want people to get overwhelmed by the fact like, oh, I've got to go rent out a gym or get a church or do this. You can do this in your home, in your garage. It's summertime. You can do it in your front yard. There was one time I had, see, this is me getting off script for a second. For years, I've been wanting to run front yard fitness fit club, a front yard fit club, where you just basically would send out flyers throughout your neighborhood and say, hey, we're going to work out Tuesday night at 8 o'clock in my front yard, 1651 Amaryllis Drive, show up. And if one person showed up, we'd work out and it would be fun. Now, I've never followed through on that, but that may happen in the future. And it might be something that you look at your neighborhood and you go, you know what, we got a lot of good friends in the neighborhood. Maybe that will work for us. You can obviously run it in a gym where you'll need access to a sound system or video system. If you take on the challenge of being outdoors, you need to make sure you have a projector screen, speakers, etc., as well as permission to be wherever it is that you are. Number 4, will there be cost involved? For example, rent, in the facility that you're using, prizes that you want to give away, Shakeology that you want to share or sample, the cost of the programs that you are buying so that you can have them for Fit Club, insurance costs if necessary. If you're working out of a gym, they may ask you for insurance, time spent recruiting, or any other creative ways you can find to make Fit Club a success. Question number 5, why am I running this Fit Club? Just like in our Beachbody businesses, we have a why, a bigger reason, something that's going to emotionally connect us to running our business. Your Fit Club has to have a why, and it needs to be strong if you want it to last. My why personally is twofold. Number 1, I believe that people bond better when they're working out, when they sweat together. This goes back to my basketball playing days. At the beginning of a pickup game, I just remember you could go into a game knowing nobody, but by the end, you'd be high-fiving and sharing like you were best friends. There's something about accomplishing a goal together, such as winning a basketball game or completing a hard, fun workout that bonds people and breaks the ice or breaks the barriers in a relationship. When you do that, you now have permission to talk as friends and not just as this stranger who's trying to sell them something. So for me personally, that's a big bonus and why for having a Fit Club. Number 2 is to share the gospel and the life of Jesus Christ. I personally am a believer, and I feel it's important to do this. Romans 10, it says, 14 and 15 says, how then can they call on the one they have not believed in, and how can they believe in the one to whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can anyone preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. God's done so much in my life, and I feel that it's my duty to share that. That's something he's put on my heart, and that's something that, I definitely feel convicted to do as part of this Fit Club that we have. I've seen and felt the difference between the old me and the new me, and that was kind of the message that we shared this past week, because it's been fresh on my mind as we approach a 40th birthday party that I'm going to for Beth's brother, one of my good buddies from college. So I'm pretty excited about that this Saturday. Anyway, question number 6, is it worth my time, cost, and effort? And I'm obviously answering these questions from my perspective when we started our Fit Club. And for those of you that don't know, we do have a Fit Club. It runs every Tuesday nights. It's 8 to 9 o'clock. And we average anywhere from 25 to 35 people right now, but there was a time that was 35 to 45, and we've even had up to 65 people show up to the Fit Club. So there's a reason we're talking about it tonight, and it's something that we're doing, and we've been running this for almost a year now. So number 6, is it worth my time, cost, and effort? I know my goal was to create a non-threatening environment where people truly had zero excuses to come work out. Because you hear people talk all the time about, I need to get started, I need to do this, I want to do this. But the minute they find out they got to pay money, the minute they find out it's too early in the morning, it's around dinner time, the excuses come out, and they don't tend to follow through on that desire to work out. So the goal was to create that environment and give people zero excuses to come work out. So we wanted it to be free for those who were attending at the time. And we wanted it to be at a time in the evening that allowed everyone to make it if they truly wanted to be there. I, however, not a huge fan of working for free, especially when I can be spending time with my awesome wife and my 3 wacky kids. Because understand that for me, time away from them is huge. It's a huge cost. As fun as something can be, it will never last if there's not compensation on the other end to offset that cost. So when I first started planning for this Fit Club, it was more about the issue of asking, how can I create something that my team can use to invite more people to? How can it be something that allows me to help them through the skills that I possess? And how can we impact others positively and provide great value? For me, my skills are talking to people face to face and speaking publicly with the hope of sometimes inspiring others. With that said, I knew that a workout setting was right for me. I prefer face to face. I have the skill of being able to talk to people and be able to read body language. That's as opposed to being more social media that I was already struggling to keep up with. I knew the Fit Club would allow more opportunities for coaches to invite people to try a Beachbody program, as well as get them face-to-face with people that they were talking to and help build those relationships. If this helps nurture sales for them, then it is another form of compensation and everyone wins. So the original plan was to make it a mix of Fit Club and live format workouts, starting with Size, our dance program by Shaun T. The thought was we could get people to try out a new dance program, then expose them to live classes, because some of us got certified live, where we could morph it into full-time live classes that people paid for at the door. As time went on, people never got tired of dancing with Shaun T, which is pretty common because he's awesome. And Beachbody On Demand allows for new routines periodically that keeps it fresh. Therefore, we've stuck with a Size Fit Club for almost a year now, and it's still going strong. So in that year, we've exposed over 225 people to Size and to the fun of Team Beachbody, which I think is pretty awesome. That's not to say that we'll do Size forever. We got Country Heat coming out, so that might be a good opportunity to do that. We may get into some of the older programs and programs that come out in the future, but as long as people are enjoying Size and they keep coming and that's what they want to do and they have fun and they dance and they sweat and they get to smile and they get to be with other people that they enjoy, then we're impacting lives, and we're going to keep going with that as long as we can. And I think that, as time goes on, we'll definitely be able to tell when the time's right to move on from that. So as I mentioned, Fit Clubs are designed to be free, as you will read through the resources of Beachbody, but I don't really personally like the idea of working for free. Challenge pack sales and team volume are a great way to obviously get some of that compensation, but there was still that need for me to have a more rapid form of compensation, as I'm also not a fan of paying all the expenses out of pocket, or even asking other coaches to share the burden financially. In a typical Fit Club setting, that's how it would work. You'd get together with other coaches, discuss the facility costs, insurance costs, equipment needs, advertising costs, if any, etc. And then you divide that expense and you'd each pay. Well, don't get me wrong, there's value in that from a team building standpoint, and that's probably where I fall short in this process, if I'm being completely honest. But I think it's because I tend to fear, we all have some fears, right? One of mine is I fear asking others to give up their time and, give up their time from their family and give up their money to help in that way, because it's not always an easy thing to do. So that's one of my shortcomings. So how do you handle a scenario like this when you don't want, to be the one spending money or asking others to spend their money? Well, my solution was to use the great skill of networking, which is what we do, right? To reach out to local businesses and ask for sponsorships. I kind of wanted a win-win-win scenario. Attendees would get a free workout, win. Local businesses would get great advertising and word of mouth, win. And us coaches would not have to spend any money out of pocket to make it all happen, win. Through sponsorship money, all the expenses would be paid. I would get a small fee for the work that I had done to get the sponsorships, as well as be their spokesperson for a period of time. And then on top of that, 10% of everything gets donated to the church. So maybe it's a win-win-win-win in that scenario. So is it worth it? With facility costs, equipment use, prizes, giveaways, all the recruiting, all the follow-up, time away from the family, networking with local businesses. Yes, for me it is. But there had to be a plan in place, and it had to be thought through before it started. You as an individual have to ask these 6 questions that we just went through as they help you develop that plan. So what are some of the elements that I believe need to be present to run a successful Fit Club? If at any point people want to stop or ask questions, or you write them down for the end, go ahead and feel free to unmute people and let me know. You don't have to listen to me for a couple more minutes. 7 elements that I kind of wrote down that I believe need to be present to run a successful Fit Club. Not to say they're the only 7, but it's the 7 that I got right now. It must be fun. Surprise, 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 coming from the 95% yellow, right? Number 2, there must be at least one person beside you. Number 3, you must have the help of others, even if it's not in your nature. Number 4, there must be a true desire to help other people stay active. Number 5, there must be a message. Number 6, there must be follow-up. And number 7, you have to have a waiver. Number 1, it must be fun. Pure and simple, guys. If it's not enjoyable to you and to others or for others, you'll stop doing it. This is true pretty much anything in life. If you don't like it, you don't do it. And that's why many people fail in their fitness journey. I always believe in making things that people hate into something that they can look forward to because it's fun and encouraging. That's how I run my boot camp. That's how I run my family. Why would this be any different? It's how I want to run the Fit Club. Number 2, there must be at least one other person. Just like I said earlier, or just like in our challenge groups, if one person shows up, sometimes we're like, oh, I only got one person this month. Well, you know what? If that one person shows up, you help that one person. That's all you need. Caring for others does not have a designated number. Our goal is to impact lives, regardless of how many people show up, sign up, whatever. That is our goal. That's our job. Number 3, but yeah, obviously, Fit Club, you have to have at least one other person, because dancing by yourself in a garage is pretty much just doing your workout, right? Number 3, you must have the help of others, even if it's not in your nature. The not in your nature part does apply to me, because I really do struggle, like I said, to ask for help. Luckily, God put a person in my life, like Josh Ketterman, and some of you know him, who unconditionally forces help upon you through the kindness that God has put in his heart. He's probably the most unselfish friend I've ever had, and I didn't know how to take that at first. Without his help, Fit Club probably would have never been a success. It probably wouldn't have lasted this long. I can honestly say that. It's probably also one of the things that has gelled our relationship. So beyond the relationships of these people who you're inviting as customers, Josh is an example of a guy who I became closer with just because another coach, because of his unconditional desire to help. And I'm always like, man, why is this guy giving his time? Why is he giving all this effort? And it was just because he wanted to help. In the meantime, it's that part has slowly opened me up and to help or to accept help from others. Courtney Miller is one of those people, and she probably won't know how important her role has been, no matter how small she sees it. Thank you, Courtney. Moppy Byler is always ready and willing to help. Thank you, Moppy. Elisa Ketterman, who is Josh's wife, she's been very helpful, but has since started helping me at my boot camps. And I think it's been through this process of Fit Club that has allowed me to let go of some control. What can I say? I'm learning not to be a control freak. The great thing about all these people, they all are coaches on my team. They are my team. I appreciate them. And I probably don't tell them enough. So I appreciate you guys. Number 4, there must be a true desire to help other people stay active. That's what our job is about. We win when others win. You have to have a heart for others first. And that heart has to have zero expectations of ever receiving the glory for their success. You help because you know it's the right thing to do, and they will pass on what they learn to others, which will impact people way beyond your reach. Number 5, there must be a message. As I mentioned, I like to share the message of the gospel in our Fit Club. Every week we share that message, but that won't always be the case for everyone, and I don't want anyone to feel like it has to be. That is what God put on my heart, and that's what I choose to do. But the message that should always be shared is that of living a healthy and quality life through exercise, nutrition, and accountability. You need to share the message and mission of Beachbody in your Fit Clubs. It's a prime opportunity to build and grow your business, and you just don't forget to talk about programs and nutrition products in the accountability groups. Number 6, and this is probably the most important, there must be follow-up. Follow-up is key. Do not expect people to just keep coming because you started it. You have to create a community on social media. You have to email the group every week. You have to private message individuals to see how they're doing and if they're coming. That means you have to notice if they've been missing, and then you have to check in on them. People get busy. They will not always make exercise a priority. You have to make them a priority if you want them to show up. So make sure to identify your diehards, your once in a whiles, and also those she needs to be there, but definitely needs my encouragement kind of people. Number 7, must have a waiver signed. And that's last but not least, obviously, but make sure you have everyone sign a waiver at least once and keep it on file in case of injury. This protects you and it protects Beachbody. So in a nutshell, those are some of the things that I think it takes to run a successful Fit Club. And like I said, I have resources I'm going to share where you can go into your back office and you can see how Beachbody portrays this and gives you scripts. But I wanted to share more about kind of from our perspective what it takes. And our Fit Club has been successful, but I don't think we've hit the peak yet. I wouldn't even classify it as great. It will definitely become great as we continue to grow together. And like I said, me being a control freak, that's something as I slowly let go of that, it'll probably get better. If I could just learn how to do that faster and go against my own nature, it would probably be much more helpful. So that is our Fit Club. That's what I feel Fit Club needs to be success. If anything in there maybe has got your mind going to the point where you think, you know what, maybe I could run a Fit Club, I would love to talk to you one-on-one or answer any questions that you have tonight. So Glenn, that's all I got. Feel free to open it up. Hello. Or if you have questions about anything else, it doesn't have to be Fit Club. I'm more than happy to help.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. So any questions or anything for Dan? I know that has been I think it's been ultra successful. I mean, to have consistently 25, 35 people coming to it, that's pretty impressive. So I know, you probably do a great job as far as keeping it energetic, entertaining, everything like that. But
this past Tuesday was really, really fun. We had the lights out. It was a harder routine. Courtney was there. It felt like a dance club towards the end. And it gave me an idea, and I wanted to talk to Courtney and Josh and Moppy about it. With size, they have all these new routines, and some of them are getting pretty complicated. They're above average. They're not super easy. But I want to memorize 5 or 6 of them, or do some kind of class where we can do them throughout the week. Get together somewhere and practice them, because then on Tuesday night I would love to just dance, just let the playlist go, and whatever song comes on we dance to, or we just put them back to back to back. It is really cool. I mean, Fit Club is a great way, like I said, when you can get face to face with people and sweat, fling a little bit on them, they fling a little bit on you, all of a sudden barriers are broke down and they're like, ew, and then you're like, my bad. I mean, people tend to open up. I mean, that was, like I said earlier, in my basketball days, you could show up to a court, know nobody, but by the time you left, you knew everybody because you shared a common bond.
Right.
And it really is a great opportunity if you can step out of your comfort zone just a little bit. And Moppy can attest to this. This wasn't our first Fit Club. We've tried 3 or 4 in the past. We had one over here in Green. We had one in Hartville. We've had them all over the place, and we just seem to let them go. So it's not something that you have to feel like, if I start this Fit Club, I'm gonna have to run it forever and it's got to be super successful. Maybe you try it, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, that's okay.
Well, I think we made some mistakes on the other ones that we've learned from those mistakes. Our first fit club, I remember we just we wanted to do it all. So we had this whole wall of transformations, and we had Shakeology, and we had E&E, and we sort of like just vomited everything. We wanted to tell people about everything because we were so excited, and people were just kind of, like feeling like we wanted to try to sell them something. And we did it at the beginning, before even beginning the workout. So it was just a little bit intimidating. And that was not our intention. Our intention was to we were so excited about it. We wanted to explain it all. But we learned the hard way that you should just let people create a community, come and work out. And if they have questions, then go for that. But you want to share something, some 21 Day Fix approved cookies, then just do it very casually. Hey, I did some cookies. They're at the back if you want to go get them, sort of thing. Because otherwise they feel like they're coming to a sales pitch, and you don't want them to feel like that. You want them to just come and sweat. That's basically what we learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I said. I mean, even where we're at now, we have more to learn. I know I do, but it definitely is going to continue to be something we do.
Awesome. Yeah, and like Dan mentioned, I mean, if you're kind of overwhelmed by the whole idea, that's fine. I'm sure, when I think of putting something together like that, it does seem a bit overwhelming. But if you haven't ever done one or haven't been to one, I have never done one.
I did a really easy one, like at a preschool when my kids were not at that preschool, but one of my neighbors was there, and that preschool was at a church, and they let us just use a room. So luckily they had the projector. I just had to bring the laptop to plug into it. But that was easy. It was just, we plugged in a laptop. We played one of our workouts that didn't need any equipment. So we did a lot of T25 at the time, just because that was what the newest program was. And there was consistently about 5 moms that came. They'd drop their kids off at preschool and come in there. So that is a really easy way to start it. We didn't have to bring in a bunch of equipment. I just needed my laptop and, a sign-in sheet so I could get people's emails.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be huge, but it was still a nice way for me to connect with a couple of those moms on a regular basis. And didn't do it.
Yeah, but again, they don't, like Dan mentioned too, they don't have to be huge. They don't need to be 25, 60 people. They can be 5 and be successful. It's just exposing people to
or invite your
Beachbody.
Neighbors. I used to always have my neighbor, friends that live locally, come just to try different Beachbody workouts, and we just worked out in the basement, not in our weight room, but in the family room area. Again, usually with a program where we didn't need a lot of equipment, and I didn't call it a fit club. We just called it a workout.
But that's what it was, and I think sometimes those are the more successful ones. We run this bigger one because I just think it's fun, right? I mean, that's more people is fun. I mean, let's do this thing. But the more effective ones have been the times when I invited 3 or 4 people to come work out in my garage. When T25 did come out, we had 4 of us in a garage. Honestly, just to try the workout. Say, come try it. But afterwards, it was a much more effective conversation when I gave them Shakeology afterwards, or recover. At that time, I think I gave them the results in recovery for P90X. And I think the 3 people who came to work out all bought something. Not that was my intention, but because we were just there talking, and they tried the shake and they liked it, and they're like, you know what, I think I will give that a shot. Those were actually the more effective ones as far as sales go. So it's not always, because I wouldn't even say that even our Fit Club now is as successful as it's been. I wouldn't say it's been a huge business builder for me yet. Like I said, we're approaching doing this for a year. You have people who show up over a year and keep coming every week, those are people that you probably want to be on your team because they like being around you.
Right.
So, I mean, as we continue to do this, you can kind of, I don't know if the word's target, but you can definitely zero in on those people and say, you know what, I like being around you. We've been around each other a year and I'm still not tired of you. So would you consider being on my team? I think you're great.
Awesome. All right. Does anyone else have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns? No?
Now let's get to the real topic at hand. These Bitmojis.
Yeah, the Bitmoji app.
This is really what I wanted to talk about tonight.
Carly created mine. I'll text it to you.
Yeah, send it. That's everybody's homework for next week. Make a Bitmoji.
Make a Bitmoji and post a picture of it and stay true. So, all right, guys. Well, we will talk to you later. Thanks for getting on the call. Oh, Courtney has something.
You want to talk about shirts or no?
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm in a daze.
Okay, so we're getting shirts made for Summit. They're going to be $15. They're really nice T-shirts. Yeah, Dan's got one. But there's 3 different types you can choose from, and I just want to encourage you guys, even if you're not going to Summit, get at least one shirt because they're great conversation starters. Because on the back, like they're going to have our team logo on the front, and on the back it's going to say, ask me about, and it's got 9 of our most popular workouts on there. So 21 day fix and T25 and all sorts of that stuff. But those are great conversation starters to just wear around. Sorry, he won't go to sleep. So but I will hopefully have the design to show you next week along with the order form. And then all the orders are going to go through me and we'll get those ordered for you. And they should be done in time for Summit.
And you said they're going to be how much? Do we know yet? Did
you
15.
Say
15? Okay, awesome.
And there's one that's it's like a cotton, like a really nice cotton, and then the other 2 are that wick material, like the workout shirts. So they're really nice shirts, and they come in a wide variety of colors, so you can pick whatever you want.
You can pick whatever. Okay, now for people going to Summit, are we going to stick with one color or not?
I was going to say everybody get one blue. There's a royal blue that's really nice.
Okay.
I think so.
That way we all have one that matches.
I think that would be good.
Aren't there more ladies? It should be pink.
Hot pink, we said.
I'm okay with
I'm
that.
in on that too. Wait. I just gonna
I
say.
look good in blue.
Ladies rule the
It's
world.
all about me.
I look good in blue.
The woman ordering the shirt speaks. I think
Yes,
we're done.
yes.
Blue it is.
We're overruled by the one planning the T-shirts.
Right.
I'll do whatever.
Don't screw up my order forms.
In charge of it this year.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
she's submitting them, so I'm pretty sure we're going to do with whatever she wants.
But they are great to wear just, I mean, I wear mine from last year just like when I go to school or, they're just Lenmer's all the time.
I wear mine all the time, yeah.
So it is a good conversation.
I talk about it all the time.
What?
Never mind, my bit, yeah. So,
all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us.
yes,
Let me take a picture
and
of
thank you
everybody.
again, Courtney, for putting that T-shirt order together. That was awesome.
Yeah, because it was such a disaster.
It was. It got.
Okay, smile, everybody. You can't see him. Why can't I see him?
What do you mean?
He's dark.
Oh, he was dark.
That's called tan.
No.
Or, as Glenn would say, Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican.
Portuguese.
That's
Dog. That is
You
not
speak
I'm
Portuguese.
just telling you, next time you have a team gathering with Mexican food, I'm going to be asking for the Mexican team member that should be there.
No, the next gathering we're having Peruvian food.
Yes.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Who knows anything about that?
Moppy's gonna tell us. She's gonna.
Hey, I know the ingredients of Shaco. A lot of them come from Peru, so.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to say psychology all night long.
It works too.
All right.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks.
Good night, guys.
Going
Good night, guys.
Yeah.